Oh, you can't keep this.
Oh, here.
That,
What's the one?
this is the election order. I'm trying to indicate what's wrong. Y'all ordered it back in July. When y'all ordered the special election, I call it, but I had to wait for the days.
The mayor looked at it. We'll get yours.
Mayor,
Answer for it. Or take it.
I'll take it up. Go ahead. Thank you.
How are you doing this evening?
27 things on the agenda.
I know.
This I'll answer that question after 4.
Yeah, you just submit it how it is.
They can just table all their meat like you said, right?
Yes. Yeah. Yeah. You just say that they're not ready.
I can have gum.
That's what?
She wants gum.
Then we got mints and that's
Don't fall.
I'm going to sleep. Sitting in my little corner. I'm not being okay.
You know you're talking to
I ain't talking to you. You ain't talking to you. There's nothing on there that says city attorney. Okay.
Make sure your phones are on silent or off. And if you need to use them, please go outside for it and keep the excess talking to the minimum. Thank you.
Thank you for coming. This is the City Council's regular meeting, and it's September the 8th, 2016, and it is 7:02. stand for the Lord's Prayer. And for a moment of silence for our former mayor, Diana Garza, followed by the Lord's Prayer. Our Father,
who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done, on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our trespasses, as we forgive those who trespass against us. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, and power, and glory forever.
at this time I would like to establish quorum. We have Councilman Tejada, Councilman Ortiz, Councilman Jimenez, and Councilwoman Cantu. We have a quorum. Now to recite the U.S. Pledge of Allegiance and the Texas Pledge. I pledge
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Under the Texas flag, I pledge allegiance to thee, Texas, one state, under God, one and indivisible.
would like to call your attention to citizens' comments. Do we have any citizens' comments? Please walk up and identify yourself.
Jim Long, just a quick request. I know you've got things on the agenda tonight, you don't want to elongate it, but just, most of them have to do with the budget. So I would just request that if you're a sponsor for one of the action items of the budget, if you would just provide some explanation as to why you want whatever it is that's important. Secondly, because I know the budget coming in is balanced, for the next meeting, when we look at a public hearing and approving the budget, if things have to come out of the existing budget because we don't get a balance from tonight, I would like to do a report on what had to be removed to make the budget accommodate whatever we had tonight. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Any other comments? No, there are no other citizens' comments. I would like to ask Mr. Duke to come to the podium and do a presentation that he has for our former Mayor Diana Garza, who was on the board for 3 years.
Thank you, Mayor, Councilman.
And I would also like to ask her husband, Tati, to step up to receive the presentation.
Thank you. I'm not sure, I know the council will know this, but as the mayor of Floresville, it's automatically required that they serve as a trustee for the Floresville Electric and Power System. And as such, our former mayor did that very, very well. And unfortunately, I didn't have one meeting of opportunity with her before she resigned, but by all accounts and in my new eyes to the community, clearly she was very well loved in this area. So I'd like to read the resolution from the board here if you're going to, sir. Need some classes first, unfortunately. It says, be it remembered, on the 27th day of January 2016, the Board of Trustees of Floresville Electric Light and Power System want to express their sincere gratitude to Diana Garza for her dedicated service as a trustee representing the city of Floresville on the Phelps Board of Trustees. Ms. Garza was appointed as a trustee in November of 2012. Her broad skill, knowledge, dependability, courtesy, faithful cooperation, and best interests of the system was at all times of great benefit and assistance. Be it resolved that the original of this resolution is presented to Diana Garza, with her husband here tonight. Thank you, Mayor.
Thank you, Mr. Duke. Thank you, Mr. Garza. Thank you. The next item we have, we're going to move on to, under new business, item A, and that is to, the CNA to approve a proclamation honoring former Mayor Diana Garza. And what I would like to do is, Mr. Chris, should I read the proclamation first and then the motion?
Yes, Madam Mayor.
Okay, thank you, sir. The proclamation is from the office of the mayor and the city council. Whereas on behalf of the city of Floresville, the city council wishes to record our deep sorrow over the passing of Mayor Diana Garza on September 3rd, 2016. And whereas Mayor Diana Garza was the first Hispanic female mayor elected in the city of Floresville. She served as mayor from November 2012 to November of 2015. Whereas Mayor Diana Garza worked tirelessly on community issues and challenges facing the city of Floresville during her tenure and will always be remembered as a friendly and conscientious mayor who placed the interests of the city of Floresville first and foremost. And whereas Mayor Diana Garza was a beloved wife to Casimiro, mother and grandmother, friend, community leader, and community volunteer, and whereas her life was dedicated to the best interests of the community and her family, and whereas the city of Floresville, along with city employees and community, were blessed to have known her and been a part of her life, and now therefore, I, Mayor Sherry L. Castillo, Mayor of the city of Floresville, on behalf of the entire city council, city employees, and all citizens in recognition of Mayor Diana Garza's many contributions to our great city, do hereby express our deep appreciation for her dedication to the progress of this community and extend to her family our sincere sympathy upon her passing. Council, may I have a motion, please?
I'll make the motion to approve the proclamation honoring former Mayor Diana Garza.
May I have a second? I second. All right, may I have any citizens' comments? All right, all those in favor?
Aye.
Say aye. All those opposed? Madam Secretary?
4-0, Mayor.
4-0. And now we would like to present Mr. Garza the proclamation itself, and it's down here, so I will go down. Thank you so much. We really appreciate it. Thank you. We're sorry for your loss. You want to show the proclamation for the photo? And turn it around. Here you go. Okay. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Thank you so much. And now we'll go on to the first public hearing to take public comment on the Texas Parks and Wildlife Outdoor Grant Program application submission. Mr. Kern?
Mayor, you need
Madam
to...
Mayor, can you mark the time
Yes.
officially in the record?
Yes. The time is 7:11.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mayor and City Council. We have two public notices today. Public notice number one is the City of Floresville has been made aware of the Texas Parks and Wildlife Department's Texas Recreation Park Account Program. It is the intent of the city to submit an application for the grant for this department. The second public notice is also speaking to, as a public hearing has been called on this day, to have the application, to submit the application to the Texas Wildlife, that we need to do so in reference to that it is in a flood zone in a wetland area. We have two representatives here from Lankford, who was our grant writer, Beth.
This is going to be only on the first. We'll address the floodplain when we open the second public hearing.
So on the first public hearing, we're supposed to talk about the flood play in the wetland area. We have two representatives here from Langford, Beth.
No. The first one is the grant.
Yeah, first is on the grant.
Henrietta, the first one is the grant, not the floodplain. The second one
Floodplain
is
is the
floodplain.
second.
Public notice number one.
Thank you.
On the, if you open public hearing number 1 on the agenda, it's the grant.
Would you like to say something?
It says public hearing number one.
I mean, on the agenda, we have to go back.
Can we interrupt this for a second? Mr. Garza would like to say something.
Oh, I'm sorry. Sure.
Would you like everybody for coming here? Appreciate the award and for my wife. And hope you'll continue to do the correct thing.
Thank you so much.
Okay, so Mayor, we're going to do the public hearing number one, which has to do with the application process itself, and Beth can speak to where we are on that process.
Thank you. Our firm is assisting the city of Floresville with the application for a park application from Texas Parks and Wildlife. It's going to be in excess of $1.4 million overall. But the grant that we're applying for would be $500,000 from Texas Parks and Wildlife. It's a 50-50 matching grant. So if you ask for $500,000, the city puts in $500,000. The applications are due October 1st, and we've been diligently working with Ms. Turner here and Heartland, working on the budget and the narratives and the description for the application. The results of the scoring, it's a very competitive process. The results of the scoring will be made public. The Texas Parks and Wildlife Board will make those public probably around next April if they follow suit that they did this last year.
And so, Mayor, if you have any asked for public comments or any public things in reference to public comments for the public hearing number one for the application submitted?
At this time?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, do we have public comments? No comments.
I'll stop there.
Oh, okay.
Okay, on behalf of that grant, it's matching from the city, but it's in kind, could be in kind, correct?
Yes, sir. Some contributions could be in kind, and you actually are scored based on contributions outside or inside the city resources. And so any outside sources that you receive toward the match really help you score higher. But in-kind donations, in-kind definitely is acceptable and used quite often in applications. So any work, the dirt work that the city would do, you get credit based on FEMA rates for tractors and heavy equipment and such like that. So in-kind is definitely eligible to be used as match.
I just wanted it to be known, for the city, a lot of people, they're, for some reason, are negative towards the parks and stuff, and they think that everything's coming out of a tax base from the city or money that could be used elsewhere, and just let them know that, it's going to be something matching, and whoever pitches in, will be the in-kind part.
And any donations from any sponsors are always welcome. Thank you.
I think Ms. Turner was working on some of those.
Yes, sir, we are working on some in-kind as well as some of that hard match that could actually be moving dirt and things like that. And we'll be coming to a conclusion on that. The $1.4 million that you mentioned is actually from the EDC, and they say you can do $1 million, so the total is 2.5, and then we'll be adding another $500,000 on top of that. Hopefully we can get the grant. If we could call the time there for this first public hearing, I would appreciate it.
17.
That concludes our first public hearing.
Okay, so
You can open up the second public
your
hearing?
second public hearing is to take public comment to address floodplain requirements for the submission of a grant application to the Texas Parks and Wildlife Department.
And
And it is the same time, 7:07.
Yes,
there you go.
ma'am. And so this public hearing has been called on September 8th at 7:17 prior to city council meeting to discuss and consider the park improvements as prioritized in the goals laid out is recently created city park master plan. Public comment is welcome and can be submitted in writing to the city journal within routine business hours. And so because this property falls within the flood zones and flood areas, you know, and we're having some issues with dispersal of soil, we need to then publicly let people know that we will be making some differences in the flood zone area. And if there's any public comment, we can take that at this time there.
Okay. Any comments? Council? No comments.
I have a comment. Can you please address the council on what areas, what streets are those?
This is basically speaking to the, we're going to disturb some area at the city park, and that is in the flood where we have dispersal of soil at the city park. That's where this is talking to in reference to, that is in the wetland area. Just to do an overview, and thank you for mentioning that to me, Councilman Ortiz. The plan that we're having, of course, is the new part. We're calling it athletic field right now because we don't have a name for it. But those fields will be the fields in the football and the baseball. But the grant is actually going to address some of the issues on the existing park itself. So we're anticipating some things such as a new swing and equipment area in the Lions playground area. We're looking at actually doing a splash pad. We're looking at doing some improvements to the pavilions and some new picnic areas that will be actually kind of shed over them. And so those are the kind of things that we're talking about with the grant that will do for the new existing park, connecting the two parks together via pedestrian and vehicle, and actually also do a walking path around. And I think they'd like to have a half a mile at least, is that correct? And so those are the kind of things we're going to be looking at to do on the grant side. So we're doing so much on the athletic side that they do that. The grant doesn't like to pay for things such as parking lots and bathrooms, and so those are going to be part of things in the phase one. So that would conclude my comments, and Mayor, you can call the time on the second public hearing.
7:20.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much. This concludes our public hearing. We'll go on to old business. And there are 4 meeting minutes that we will need to table. They're not available at this time. So may I have a motion to table by consent, all 4 of them?
So moved, Madam Mayor.
And a second, all those in favor of tabling the minutes for June 16, June 23, July 14, and July 28. All in favor? Raise your right hand. All in opposed? 4-0, Madam Mayor. Thank you. Now, before we begin our budget item, I would like to provide an introduction to this. So allow me to reiterate a statement provided in the August 25, 2016 Executive Budget Overview, that all funds are balanced, water fund, the sewer fund, and the general fund. Also stated that the goal for fiscal year 2016-17 is to provide a financial plan that addresses and achieves the needs of the city. And that is that it achieves financial stability, improves operations, establishes best-in-class management procedures. So after numerous budget meetings, the council decided in the August 31st, 2016 special meeting that each council member would review the budget and turn in their recommendations to the city secretary. Today's agenda may include duplication, and we will address those items as we cover the list. So it is with budget goals in mind to improve operations, to establish management practices, and to provide financial stability that this council has reviewed budget items and made necessary recommendations. So we will entertain the first one, and that is under new business, item B. CNA to amend city's organizational chart to eliminate the laborer position reporting to the city mechanic. In other words, not to approve it on the org chart. I understand this is not a necessary position, and so we would like to eliminate that one from the budget.
We're not eliminating the person, right?
This is not about personnel, it's not about people, it's about the budget. It's about positions. So It's to eliminate the laborer position reporting to the city mechanic. And,
Is that a new position, Ms. Vernon?
No, sir, it's not. We just assigned someone to the mechanic, and the reason why we did that is because of the work. Now, you know, we have one position over there, one mechanic, and he does a lot of lifting and a lot of things. And for safety reasons, when you're under a vehicle, you should not be the only one in the shop. And so that's why we had assigned someone to that, to assist from another department to assist, so that as they're doing some of the heavy lifting, there's more than one person there. Also, so that there can always be someone at the shop itself, we are, thought that it would be a good idea to have someone at that position.
And you're just acknowledging this after 3.5 years?
That person has been back and forth. The position has always been back and forth, and we floated people in and out of there. We were just addressing it on the organizational chart. But there's always been someone there officially. So when we were looking at the chart itself, I thought I would take no limit on the chart. But from time to time, we have assisted, have someone in there to assist for that, so the organization chart will be reflective of what was truly happening.
I had asked for a position description for this position, and what I got in turn was a position for public works laborer.
Yes, ma'am.
Is that the same one?
Yes, ma'am.
And it reports to the park supervisor?
Well, that person reports to the park supervisor, it can report from the street supervisor. It's a general job description for a laborer.
So it would not be reporting to the mechanic manager or the mechanic position?
It's just a general description of what a laborer would do. And if he's assigned to work with the mechanic, then that's who he would do ultimately his time and request.
So you really don't know what person's going to be in that position?
Well, we're not speaking of person, we're speaking of position.
No, I understand the position. That's what I'm talking about.
That position, person may change, but we're talking about the position itself.
Yeah, we're only talking about positions.
Yeah, well, that's not saying position, person, or whatever.
Right.
I'm not meant, I mean,
It's-
no.
So,
What I'm understanding, Mr. Turner, this person, this position is a floater.
It's a floater, yes. And that's why we just a general description for public works.
So as far as reporting purposes, would it matter if it reported to the streets or water or?
It just matter of whatever timekeeping, because, you know, the mechanic doesn't necessarily have a payroll. The supervisor will have to sign off on his time or approve his
But it
time.
does make a difference whenever your job description is not.
The job description just speaks to who he or she will report to. It doesn't necessarily speak to their duties.
if they're reporting to the mechanic manager, do they have to have for example, his position says to perform welding duties?
Oh, they do a lot
So
of
they have to
things.
have welding experience and all the experiences that the manager has? Or all the,
It's a labor position, so it's not necessarily a skilled position or a skilled mechanic. But what we're trying to do is get another body there. If he's under a vehicle, if the mechanic's under a vehicle, or there's somebody manning the shop itself, and somebody has to go run for parts or things such as that. So that's all it was.
But what we're getting at, this person doesn't have to be there all the time. Only when they're doing something.
Well, he's always doing something. Our fleet needs to be addressed.
So you wanted to create a position
No, sir,
for
I'm not.
assistant?
No, sir, I was not creating a position.
Then
I was just,
what are you saying?
on the organizational chart, I was just showing you that, because each one has how many's on this crew and how many's on this team. And so I just had that person decided that that number would be there for the mechanic. So for example, if it's public works and it's park department, I wouldn't show a team of,
But right now,
it wouldn't show a team of 6, it would show a team of 5, because one would be assigned to the day.
Ms. Turner, right now, nobody knows who's on whose team or what streets, water, they're all scattered all over the place as we speak right now. So I don't understand where you're coming from.
Okay, we were speaking to the organizational chart, and we have this position, it's always been there, we just assigned it to the
Well,
mechanic.
that's a mechanic position.
That's the topic that we're speaking to at the moment.
Madam Mayor, I want to make a motion that we remove the reporting structure of labor to a city mechanic and keep that position as a floater.
I'll second the motion on that.
okay. So the motion and the second is to keep this labor position as a floater.
You could come from any department, in other words, as needed.
Any citizens' comments on this one? No? Yes, sir. Would you please step up and your name, please?
My name is Nick Nissen. I don't know how to, I'm very smart on a computer. I pulled out your organizational chart. I could not read anything you had in 2016 where you had a mechanic helper assigned to a city mechanic. It only shows a city mechanic. Did you guys?
What you're seeing on the website, that's our current structure.
Right.
What we're talking about today is a proposed change.
Okay, well, it's proposed from where? It's not on here.
It's on the org chart that was passed out to city council.
This is the one you got on the internet right now, 2015.
Right, and at the workshops that have been posted in open meetings, there's been amended org charts that have been passed out.
So you don't have that on the internet yet, so we can all look at it?
Mrs. Turner could speak to that if she's put it up there.
I was curious, if it gets on the internet, that's fine.
I did not put the proposed original chart on the internet until the council had approved it. And then once it's approved, it will be on the website, but I did not put it there for proposal purposes.
Okay. Any other comments? All right, council?
Jim, I just wanted to point out that this seems to be running along with item I as well, so you might want to take a look at both.
I'm sorry, I didn't understand.
Item I also addresses.
Yes, so we'll address it when we get there.
Okay, I thought you could.
Thank you, all we noticed that. You ready for a vote? All those in favor of keeping it as a floater? In the labor position?
Yeah, and to address Mr. Lawton, I think our motion will take care of item I also.
Okay, this floater is gonna report to, if he belongs to streets, that's who he reports to. In the morning, they go over there, is that correct?
He didn't make, the motion was not made that way.
And the actual, if it's left as a floater, the actual assignment will be up to the city manager for where that individual is needed at that
But
time.
that floater is gonna come in and answer to her every morning?
I'm not sure who they'll answer to directly, but if they don't have a designated supervisor.
Whatever position he's at, or in street, water, or park.
We'll make the determination once that floater has been identified, who that person will report to.
And that, council can't approve an org chart based on a person, unfortunately, so the position of floater would have to report to somebody.
Yes, depending on where they will from.
Yeah, it could be streets, water, or sewer, correct? All right.
All right, so the floater right now, then we're not approving the position of floater, there is no floater still then. That would come in an amendment to the org chart presented later.
I'm understanding, Chris.
Well, because if you're having a floater, they have to report to somebody.
And it'll be whatever they, if they come from parks, then they report to parks. If they come from streets, they'll come from streets. If that floater comes from water, they'll.
Okay, so you're saying you'll reassign as the city manager,
Not
not.
reassign, he reports in the morning to.
Right, it won't be a designated floater position on the org chart. It'll be a parks laborer that gets assigned over, or a streets laborer, okay. So there's not a dedicated position.
Yeah. I
To leave the org chart as it is for this position at the
Put on the
time.
work chart, that's what we're looking at.
Yeah. The motion has been made.
Okay, so he said to remove
For a floater.
structure from mechanic as a floater position.
So it'll remain the way it is right now.
Yes.
It's not going to report to the mechanic.
Okay.
Everybody stays the same.
All those in charge, all those in all those in favor, raise your right hand.
2,
One,
3,
3,
4. 4 0.
Okay. 4-0, motion carries. Thank you. That was way too long for that one.
Mayor, that's a point of order. This is the second time that you've had a CNA. According to the lawyer.
I'm sorry, would you step up to the front, identify yourself, please?
Yes, ma'am. I'm Douglas Jones, and I'm with the Fox Foundation. This is the second time that you've had a CNA, and the lawyer has agreed that every CNA need to have citizen comments. You haven't called for citizen comments part of it.
I believe Mr. Lohan did
Who else
comment.
made a comment? Who else made a comment?
Mr. Nixon?
Mr. Nixon.
Mr. Nixon made a comment. Who else would like to make a comment?
The vote's already been
Anyone make a
taken.
comment?
Madam
Other than the
Mayor?
one you just made? Thank you. We'll move on. Okay, so motion carries. We'll go to the next one. CNA to amend city's organization chart to eliminate the position of Director of Operations. Let me, let me say that it has come to my attention through citizens and employees that this position is not needed since we have qualified superintendents, supervisors, and heads of departments reporting to this position to perform the majority of responsibilities, including having the experience, education, license requirements, and leadership skills, thereby saving the city approximately $106,895, which includes benefits. Remember, this is a position we're talking about that is a $106,895. My recommendation is to eliminate this position and allow the city manager to reallocate resources using current staff. Council comments? Mrs. Turner?
Yes, my comment would be actually, this position was created and brought forth from the former mayor, Mayor Garza. This was something that she championed me forward in this council. And in lieu of the fact that we're about to embark on $15 million of infrastructure on the water and the sewer side, we don't have our current employees that we have in place other than this one actually will not be able to handle actually running a plant under construction, doing the major infrastructure. So I would have to respectfully disagree with the recommendations of staff and or the public because this position is very valuable and needed for us to move forward and to take care of the approximately $15 million worth of grants that we have pending.
Thank you. Council?
What's the budget on this, the 4A, budget?
When I speak to the 4A position.
This is the operations.
Oh, this is the operation. Thank you.
Just a minute. All right, council, any other comments? Anyone? Yes, ma'am. Council,
This position, is that a contract or?
no, that's an employee. That is
Salary
salary
employee.
employee.
It's a salary.
That's an exempt employee, operations manager position, for $106,895, and that includes benefits.
And no contract?
No, it's not a they're an employee.
Madam Mayor, and your opposition to this is that he's not.
Now, I'm not talking about people, okay?
Right,
I'm talking
the
about the
position.
position. So what do you want to say about the position? We cannot address personnel, no names. All I'm saying is that we possibly have dedicated people who have titles, who have salaries, who are heads of departments, and they have the skills and the licenses to provide the leadership skills needed. Saving the city $106,895. Yes, I need a motion.
Just one question, Madam Mayor. City manager made a statement that it's a fairly new position. When was that position created?
That position was created, it's about 1 year. That position was created, and so again, I would have to reiterate that in the history of Floresville, we have never had $15 million worth of infrastructure. And as Councilman Jimenez is constantly reminding me that the two things we have to focus on is infrastructure, our water and our sewer. And in order for this project to move forward, the multi-million dollars, we need to have people in place. Now, we have a new position that we created to watch the money, $15 million. So we have that. So if you need someone to do champion, because there's still day-to-day work that we have to do under this construction. This is a new endeavor for the city. This is a new position for the city. It's only been 1 year old, but we need to have those things in place so that we can move forward and to make sure that this infrastructure is here.
Council, any other comments? All right, may I have a motion, please? Before we take comments, we need a motion, and we need a second, and then we'll take citizens' comments, okay? That's the order. I'm sorry, I cannot change that. All right, I guess I could if I wanted to, right, I'm the mayor? But I won't. I'll follow procedure. All right? So, may I have a motion? To eliminate the position of Director of Operations.
I'll make the motion.
All right, may I have a second?
I'll go with that motion.
I beg your pardon?
Second.
Okay, I have a motion and a second. Now we can have citizens' comments. Please step up. Line up, please.
Here again, I can't give you good numbers because I'm only going by what you have at the computer. My name is Nick Nissen. Right now, I see our city manager overseeing 5 departments with your current thing. You're going to take one person away, she's going to start overseeing 8 departments. If she has time to do that, she's not a micromanager, nobody is. 8 people is more than what anybody can really handle. That's why this is a key position where he can handle where the departments to report to you, well, sorry, the mayor can report to you. He can't oversee these 4 working departments. The city's getting too big.
And my recommendation was to allow the city manager to reallocate resources between the staff.
Yeah, but who you're gonna realize? You got 4 places, so you take his job down to 4 places. That is gonna go to her, then you still got 4 places going to her. So you're gonna have the 5 plus, gonna end up going to 8 people coming to her.
And weren't you against this position at first, sir?
I never was against it. Never heard you against this department.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you.
Mr. Nissan, at 106, was it 106,000?
Almost 107,000, yes.
With less than 1 year of service, that's probably the highest public official here in Floresville County.
Sometimes the money is not the point, sometimes the management's the point. You don't want it to be out of control for her.
And actually, that salary is a lot less than mine. If you put him on benefits, I'm at more than $106,000. So
I'm sorry.
I said that position pays less than mine, and so just for the record, I am the highest paid employee that you have. Again, I'll reiterate that what you need to focus on is $15 million. Earlier today, I met with the linker, and we're looking at going to a procurement policy to apply for water grants. And so I may get another $250,000 in a water grant. It is impossible with the current staff, minus this one position, that can be able to do that. Now, your current staff that's been doing and working on your plant actually was here, and we've been in TCQ issue. We've been in TCQ enforcement. And that position has helped us address those issues. So if you want to have a successful grant program of $15 million, you need to have someone who that is their focus every day. Because the entire city is my focus, but that is that person's focus. And so if you want to have a successful street program, grant program, and grant programs, you need to have someone there to facilitate that.
Thank you, sir. We'll take other citizens' comments, please.
Yes?
Yes, please. Please identify yourself.
I'm Helen Martinez, and I am the USDA project accountant that was hired by the city of Floresville. And I'm not speaking as a position, or I mean, as a person, I'm speaking in terms of a position. I truly feel that the position is needed. You need a core team in order to be successful with this program. You need a city manager, you need a finance person, and you need a so-called, he's the director of operations, but you need like a public works director. And I have my experience with the city of Pleasanton. You can have a water superintendent and you can have a sewer superintendent, but they have to look at the day-to-day operations. So my recommendation is to keep the position, or we will not succeed.
Thank you. Any other comments?
I'm Debbie Ball, and I understand what you're saying. There's citizens that are complaining about this. There's some probably employees that are feeling, why is this guy in here? He's making so much money. Aren't we good enough? I understand all of that. And I can see where it concerns council on that also. But the thing is that it's not always the best way to go is getting the bargain or getting the cheapest bid that comes in. You have to look at quality. Quality is very important when running a city. There is a lot of stuff that's going on right now, and our city is getting bigger and bigger, which means that we need to hire these people in here if we're going to run the city where it's running smoothly. It's very important that we take these things into consideration. I mean, I've been in situations where it's been on the board that, the lowest bid in, that's great, he's coming in with the lowest bids, but it's his work, that quality work. So I think as council, you need to, if possible, reconsider your idea of getting rid of this position. I think as we grow, you're going to see where we're going to need this type of position more and more. And I don't think that the city manager or anybody else that's involved in your grants would be coming up here and telling you this if they didn't know that they needed this position. And as a city, that's what we need to do, is we need to work together. We need to try to help each other so we can progress. Thank you.
Thank you. Any other comments? Yes, ma'am. Please step up and identify yourself.
Good evening, Council. My name is Claudia Garza, and honestly, I haven't been to quite as many city council meetings as I'd like to, but in reference to what has just been presented to you, and I don't know who the director of operations is or what their job entails, but if the city is growing as it is, I feel that what Ms. Turner has submitted to you is something vital, not only to the city, but to the county as well. And I guess for my purposes, I would like to know what this person does. I'm sure that's maybe public record, or I don't know, but something like that, it's just been, this person has been here only a year. I don't know how much more, I guess, there's probably a lot more that can be done with this person doing what's been asked. I would hope that we would consider taking all of that into consideration, just for the city and for Floresville to grow and continue growing.
Thank you, ma'am. Any other comments? This concludes all the citizens' comments. Council, y'all ready to take a vote? All those in favor of eliminating the position of Director of Operations, please raise your right hand. I'm sorry, I didn't see all the hands. Three. All opposed?
I'll abstain.
Is that like a no?
I'll abstain.
Thank you.
Abstention.
Okay.
3-0.
Madam Secretary?
301, Mayor.
Thank you. Motion carries. We'll go on to the next one, to amend the city's organization chart to eliminate the position of marketing, communications, and event specialist. And let me read my thoughts on that. The main purpose of this position is to bring heads to beds, to create, to implement, and to measure a successful program. A marketing plan that leads projects for all people, develops short and long-term plans and budgets with goals and objectives. This position is paid out of hotel motel tax monies. We are spending an annual salary with benefits and travel of approximately $92,000. Since the inception of this position, which has been 10 months, with one major event, the Freedom Fest, and no major events booked for the fiscal year 2016-17, other than the extravaganza, which is a normal event, if approved by the council, no major events have been booked. Council, you tell this audience that this is a wise and prudent decision that will add value to the bottom line. We are throwing money away down a bottomless pit with no cost effectiveness to the bottom line. This position is responsible for a marketing plan or a short and long-term marketing program. It's sales and marketing management by crafting marketing materials that represent our city services and embraces its philosophy. We pay Wilson County News thousands of dollars to advertise. So my question is, has a marketing plan ever been presented to the council? I'm not sure. The purpose of the center is to hold community events, weddings, quinceañeras, job fairs, and so forth. Floresville is not an event destination unless we are promoting a well-known, popular artist or product. People will come. As an event center, it meets the needs of our community and the services provided for them in the surrounding area. Recently, we have had groups of folks discontent due to the rules and regulations. These need to be revised and updated. Driving business away because they are discontent, such as the trail riders who still haven't taken care of them, the Opry is not the answer to a successful business. The list of rules imposed should be reviewed and recommendations made to increase business and reduce costs. These rules have created customer separation and loss of business. This building is not designed or equipped to hold large meetings or conferences. Its size and lack of meeting rooms, adjoining hotels, other amenities limits this purpose of conferences. The one thing we can create is an awareness of the Specialist Laudos G. Bellion Event Center, as its name implies, as an event destination if we have the right subject matter. We must consider eliminating those budget items that do not add value or cost effectiveness to the bottom line, and add those budget items that will enhance and add value to the bottom line. This center, marketed effectively and efficiently, can bring heads to beds, attract businesses to our city. However, since the position has been filled at the tune of $92,000 annual salary, benefits plus expense reimbursements, we have had one large event, 4th of July. Tejano Night was canceled, and the extravaganza event is an annual event as approved by the council. 2 major events annually does not warrant a full-time marketing position. These 2 events can easily be contracted at a percentage of the cost of the event. Also hire a facility events manager that has the experience to manage the events, manage the building, and manage the staff, and stay within budget. The manager's position is vacant at this time. So, council, I have given you my opinion. Do you have anything else to say?
Mayor, may I make a comment?
Not yet. Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't hear your voice clearly. Please.
May I make a comment?
Yes, please.
All right, I really think that it's totally unfair that this position has anything to do with the design. That position inherited the design of that building that is not connected to a hotel. Also, during the 8 or 9 months that that position has existed, it has been under construction, the roof, and a lawsuit, following the 485 lawsuit and under construction. So it's hard to plan events when you're planning events with no electricity, your roof is leaking, and you have mold in the building. Those are not necessarily associated with that position, is associated with that building. It was a sick building when that person started. I have to also disagree that the extravaganza is not an annual event. This is the first time that that event had happened in over 3 years, and it went off with success. And that position only was created October 1, prior to December of having that event. The 4th of July event was the first time the city of Floresville has had fireworks in over 5 years. That not only made money, but it was well attended due to the marketing of that position. And in any ads, You also had marketing not only through Wilson County News, but also TV, radio, and ads such as that. So if you want to bring heads to that, you need to have someone who is educated and have a position that's focused to be able to do that.
Mr. Turner, looking at the events that are listed for the new fiscal year, 2016-17, there is nothing listed, not even penciled in as a large event.
Large events take some time. And in essence, to why some people left and disgruntled is based on a BYOB, which is a 4A liquor license. The city does not have a liquor license. 4A has a liquor license. And how they choose to do so at that building is left to the 4A, not even to the city council. Now, your attorney can tell you that at some point in time, the city council was considering having a license, but 4A maintained that license. And so if it's based on a BYOB, it's not based on that position. That was the decision of the 4A, not of that position. That facility has been better run. The position that you mentioned is vacant is because someone resigned, not that person left. That person chose to resign for whatever family needs that person needed to take care of. That is not the fault of the event coordinator that actually that position came available.
I'm not addressing personnel, I'm addressing positions.
But you did mention the resignation of that open position. It was not caused by the event.
And I never said it was caused by someone else. Thank you. Council, any other comments?
Yes. So you're trying to say that the event center hasn't been utilized or nothing for a year, 2 years, or whatever you're saying, because it's leaking and lacking electricity?
We had to ask the Girl Scouts to leave. We were renting to ACON, but we had to ask them to leave because that building had mold. We even had to close down some rooms from the Boys and Girls Club, AKA All City Youth Program, because of the mold in that building. It was leaking badly.
Okay.
And there was a lawsuit.
And what did you do to get that there?
The city of Floresville, 4A, sued. It took some time. They won over $2 million. And we actually took the time, and actually, Mom, I know that was before you got on council, and we've been at it working. I think actually today I received the last payment request to do that. We went out to bid and we made repairs to the roof. We made repairs to the windows. We replaced things and painted things in that building. It's kind of hard. We did have them to work around ways and get together so that we did.
So you're saying that's the only reason that you didn't book nothing or do anything?
We can't, because we were under construction. And during the construction, we tried to make sure.
For the whole building?
The entire building, yes. They replaced the roof, they replaced the container, they were mold. We even had to visc clean off certain areas so people could still have their weddings and quinceañeras in the midst of the construction, because people book their weddings and quinceañeras 6 months, a year in advance. So we didn't want to cancel anyone. That's why we didn't have any activity. And because the construction's not quite done, and actually days before the 4th of July event, the electricity went out. And so we had to replace the motherboard. That building has issues. And so that person's been working with the issues. If the rain came in, we got a brand new gym floor. We've been working on the gym floor, trying to have activity there. And it takes time for people to realize that they need to have advertisement here in the city of Floresville at the event center. The people left with a BYOB has nothing to do with that position. That was a person who held the liquor license opportunity to be able to do that. Did I answer your question?
Just to clarify, I think what the mayor said is to giving you the authority to reallocate those funds. That doesn't necessarily mean we're limiting the position. Just like Ms. Martinez said and others have mentioned, the work still has to be done.
It does. But I don't know who you expect to do it. If I don't have a team to do it, if the title goes, the position goes, the person goes. So I don't know who you think is going to be able to do that work at the event center. If you eliminate that position, there's nothing in the current budget to allocate a contractor or a vendor to do that. And you have to be careful in reference to that part, because you use actually tax exempt bonds. And so sending it out to a different management company, you all have looked at that before, and I don't think legally you can do that. You can ask the attorney.
It can't be a for-profit issue, and there's when you contract out to a management company.
They said that it could be done by Another agency?
What she's saying is like the promoter is part of the event, I think you would say, okay, well, you get 10% of the promotion of the event itself, not be under contract with the city.
It sounds like a for-profit agency, but you have to find that. So who's going to do that for you? I don't know.
Councilman Bihar, will you do with your comment?
The facility manager position is still vacant, is that correct?
Yes, because it is currently pending within this month. And I have to check with the attorney to see if you could use hotel motel tax. Well, I guess you would use hotel motel tax to negotiate with someone who to do that.
Not unless part of their job is bringing people into the city that would incur more hotel motel tax.
Since there will be a job, there will be a position, then we won't be using hotel motel tax for that.
Any more questions? Anyone have a motion, please? No? I have made a motion. I have a motion to amend city's organizational chart to eliminate the position of marketing communications and event specialist.
I'll make the motion.
I have a motion and a second. I have a motion and a second. Now we can have citizens' comments. Please line up. Identify yourself.
Madam Mayor, my name is Paul Sack. And that position was created by a 4A corporation. And that position has, we have an outline of that. I'm just going to give this to you for your later evaluation of our requirements for that position. It had everything from the requirements for education, requirements for experience, and Tony Rivera filled all those requirements perfectly. I know you're talking about a position, I'm talking about an individual that came to this town and really could do something positive for the event center, which has been...
Excuse me, we don't want to talk about the person.
The citizen can comment on where the council can't comment on a
Okay,
person.
please, go ahead. You got one this time, Paul.
Thank you, Sherry. There's been a lot of mismanagement at the event center for the last 7-8 years. It's a combination of the construction, a combination of a lot of things. And now you finally have an individual in there that fills all the requirements in that for a recommendation for a manager, a marketing specialist, and somebody that can really bring things to this city. It takes time. And as the city manager has stated, we were hampered. We were hampered for most of the spring and almost all the summer by construction. So over the period of time that man has been in charge, we were limited to what we could do. And the one thing we could do was do the Freedom Fest outside or inside. I think it would be a travesty to eliminate that position and then take that allocated money, Daniel, and hire a bunch of people for little special jobs in there and no one complete job. You're not going to get that quality for less than $90,000.
Nobody said that.
You're saying that.
I never said that.
No, he said that the manager position that is open, that could be created with that one.
The management position is open only if you eliminate it. And by the way, this is the...
No, sir,
You're wrong.
There are two positions, the person, the specialist, and then the manager. The manager's position is open.
No, if you read that, Sherry, we recommended that this person do both jobs.
Okay.
And that was the recommendation of the 4A board.
But the facility position is open.
I think the person that's there in charge of marketing can fulfill both of those positions afterward. And any change would be a travesty.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Hi, my name's Nick Mason again. then run a good idea if you have the manager's position vacant. Eliminate that position, keep this one here, and give him part-time labor to set up tables, to set up everything else. You keep your experience, you have places to grow, and he knows how to manage the building. And I do not know, I can say the person, how much he made, or, sorry, I say that?
You can say.
Okay, how much she made, sweet lady, I met her. But, like Danny said, that position's open, just eliminate that one. Then just add a part-time or 2 part-time people to help the marketing manager. Because that's the more value for your dollar.
And that's the point I was going to make, and you said that Ms. Turner still has that ability to reallocate those funds.
And I agree with you, but chances are, I don't know, and you can correct me, communications makes a little bit more money than what the manager does. If you move the person down, chances are, and I'm not speaking for it, we could lose it. Then you're going to lose a great asset. Because the city's got to grow. And you stated so many good things of why you shouldn't have built the building, but we have it. So we got to make it grow. We got to make it work. We got an expertise here. Let's use them. Get rid of the other position. That's all I'm saying.
Thank you. Yes, sir.
I'm Bill Gleason. I'm currently the president of 4A Corporation. Have been for a number of years. And I'm not here to be confrontational or anything like that. But last year, when you appointed or created this position, I and several others were extremely pleased because we finally had a professional to go in and manage the center. It had been needed for a long time, but we didn't have the money or the resources in the 4A to do that. Matter of fact, under previous city manager, he also agreed that we needed a professional to run it. But we didn't have the money or the manpower or anyone who was competent to do that in the city system at that time. As I watched what had unfolded this year, I was very pleased in that we were able to keep our doors open much of the time. We had tremendous problems. The gym floor had to come up. And fortunately, because we had that position, we had someone watching, and he virtually required the contractor that caused the problem to replace it. Caused the saving us $50-some-odd thousand. We had an event larger than anything that I remember. We had almost 2,000 people out there on the 4th of July. We earned a profit of over $9,000, I'm sorry. And it was generally successful. We had people here that I personally know from Somerset, from San Antonio, from Bernie, Seguin, and Pleasanton. We did have heads and beds. We had things happen that were good. That was something that I was very, very proud of. Now, I believe that those things can happen on a more frequent basis if we continue with a professional person that knows what they're doing. And I don't think there's anyone else with his skill set or that type of skill set in the city organization right now. So that's my concern. And I submit that concern respectfully. I understand you have a difficult time to manage the budget. But we have the largest investment the city has ever made sitting up there. And I am proud of it. But to make it anywhere near profitable, which has been our goal, Councilman Donovan, for years, you and I have been through that. And Councilman Ortiz also. To make that profitable, we have to have a professional manager. We have to have someone who knows what to do. And that's my concern.
Thank you.
And,
Thank you. Any other comments? Yes, ma'am.
My name is Diane O'Cornack. I'm the owner of the Wilson County School of Ballet and Performing Arts, and I'm here to tell you a little bit about my success that I actually had a businesswoman at the 3rd of July event. Myself, along with approximately 15 other businesses, were able to set up what we call shop, and we're able to meet many people, and I can just vouch for the previous person. I met people from all walks of life and different areas, and in fact, out of Texas. I myself, as a ballet instructor, which is new to Floresville, met 55 parents who were interested in the fine arts for Wilson County. That's a first, and it cannot be the last. Had Tony not found me, tracked me down, called me, get a table, I gotta get a table, that opportunity for those students to now enjoy the fine arts here in your downtown Floresville might not happen. I'm already talking to the city manager about doing an annual intensive summer seminar in which our ballet students, who would have a 2-week program, would then perform at the end at the 4th of July extravaganza. This is the first year of any program. I'm sure when you folks planned a party, or when you planned your wedding, you probably learned a lot what you should do, what you shouldn't do, and that's what Tony did. He'll learn what he did, what he shouldn't do next year, and how to make it bigger and grander. I, as a business person, I'm going to be looking at going to that event again next year, and hopefully my students will be performing. It is a sad day in Floresville, Texas, when you say you want to grow the area, but then you're getting rid of a position like this. You want to grow, then grow. Find someone better than Tony, and you're not going to have a good event as you did. I was flabbergasted as the many people that were there. The parking lot was packed. People were outside enjoying themselves. People who were selling food were enjoying themselves. It made a lot of money. And it made lots of business people who were in there very successful. There was a wonderful band performing. There was a beautiful car show that was going on. He did a great job, and I'm sure he's going to do many, many great things. I would definitely ask that you please reason with your community. Your community wants this building. They need this building. I'm going to go after this building. I'm going to get some performers up in that stage, platform, whatever you want to call it. We'll make it longer. And we're going to rock the world. But you've got to be on our side for that. Thank you.
Thank you. Any other comments?
Jim Long. I will approach this more from a personal issue or the business issue rather than a personal issue. You've got a building out there that initially was supposed to be paid for by hotel tax dollars. But today, out of the city budget, there is a significant amount of money that's being spent on that building that was not intended to come out of the city budget. You have a position whose primary focus in life is to generate revenue through that building. It would not be prudent to remove that opportunity. I would also say with many years of business experience, I've seen a lot of businesses that thought they could improve their bottom line by reducing staff. And I've seen very many businesses go out of business because when they reduced staff, they couldn't provide the service and they lost customers.
Any other comments?
One more. I'm going to quit. I just would like to say 10 months isn't a whole lot of time to be able to do a lot of stuff, especially when most of that time you've been trying to make sure that you can save money, getting a hold of contractors, trying to get that gym floor in, trying to go ahead and get everything else that's situated that was going crazy on there. How do I know that? Because I was there. I was there watching all this stuff firsthand. I don't know how many of you guys have been up there to watch what this position actually has done down there, but I'm telling you, it's been a good position. At first, I thought it was crazy. I'm thinking, oh my gosh, I can't believe this. This is Floresville. Who hires a marketing director? Come on. But you want to know what? This has been the best thing you guys have ever done. Because, number one, he's not getting paid out of the general fund. He's getting paid out of hotel motel tax. That's a plus for your side. So it, as far as helping the budget and anything, it's really not helping the budget by getting rid of this position. He's got the one event that he did have time to get together, because why has he not had time to get everything together? Because he's been helping getting all those contractors out there doing the job that they were supposed to be. I've been watching him. He has worked his tail off. Everything he has done is to save money for the city. I've watched it. I've seen it. That's how he won me over. That's what I'm thinking, hey, you guys did a good job on hiring this guy. Does he make a lot of money? Yeah, I'm telling you. You're getting what you pay for here. Give him some time. You want events? You want him to make market Floresville, where Floresville's on everybody's tongue? Give him some time. Most of the time he's done down there has been helping you guys save money. Give him some more time. That's all I'm asking. Let him prove himself.
Thank you. Any other comments? Yes, sir.
One more comment here. Paul Sack. We also have another thing going on out there, and that is the possibility of the YMCA coming to this city. I'm telling you that I am eliminating Tony Rivera, which I can say his name, from his position, puts that possibility in jeopardy.
Anyone else?
Mr. Chair, can I make one comment?
Yes,
about
sir.
What was asked about the 4A, about the big wild biddy?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Rivera had no comment on that. That was not his thing. We made that, by the way, it was already in our plan. We weren't enforcing it. Our attorney told us that we need to take a serious look at that, because we could be in a very delicate legal situation if we continued with that process that we were doing. And all we simply did was to say that we were going to enforce something that was already there. I'm sorry if it hurt people, it bothered me. But trying to save the city from a legal problem and the 4A from a legal problem made it a lot simpler to make that decision. And that was based on the fact from the attorney, not from anything that Mr. Rivera said.
Thank you. Any other comments? Council? We have a motion on the floor. We have a second. Are you ready to vote? All those in favor of eliminating the position of marketing, communications, and event specialist, please raise your right hand. All opposed? Madam Secretary?
3-1, ma'am.
3-1, motion carries. Thank you. We'll go on to the next item, it's CNA to amend city's organizational chart to add 2 more part-time laborers to Parks Department. The reason I put this one on here is because I think that with the plans coming in for the park, we're going to need, and this is an all year round workload, that we could add 2 more part-time laborers to the park. There's also another item in item I to add seasonal part-timers, so we can combine those or we can take one at a time. Council?
I think you combine them.
Madam
We're
Mayor?
having seasonal, shall we do that?
Madam Mayor? I isn't the seasonal, I was the one that was in with the floater position we discussed
Oh, I'm
earlier.
sorry, so which is the seasonal?
I don't see, I know seasonal was discussed in the workshops. I think that may have been some that were going to be presented under item B.
Yeah, for temporary, like for summertime, springtime coming up.
Those were discussed in the workshops, but I don't see a specific item on those.
Okay.
Your turn, you know where we could go.
On the seasonal?
Gordon? We don't have them in the budget?
Yes, ma'am, we put 2 in the budget as a given
So they were
executive.
seasonal.
It says temporary, part-time. If you look at the revised August 30th,
it says 2 part-time, park staff laborers under item number 10.
So this would be to move those from seasonal to, I guess, full year.
Yeah, would you like to change it from seasonal to full part-time?
There's no such thing as full part-time. You can have a part-time employee, or you can
Part-time
have
employees,
2 part-time employees.
Yes.
Yes.
okay?
That was in the budget, and that's what I have proposed to you on
Okay,
August
what
30th.
this is business.
Okay, so, council,
I make a motion to add 2 more part-time laborers to park department.
okay, may I have a second?
I'll second that.
Citizens' comments? All those in favor?
Excuse me, Madam Mayor, Henry, are those the ones I had requested?
That's the one that came up in the workshop, yes, sir. The one that was in discussed in the workshop, yes.
Those are the ones I had requested?
Those are the ones that were discussed. We can't have your request. That was what was discussed in the workshop.
So does that mean they're already in the budget?
It'll replace the ones in here. I believe in item V, you'll be presenting a list of new positions from what was discussed in the workshop, and these would be the same 2 that are in that list, correct?
On August 30th, 2016, revised executive overview, I visited new positions. There were 2 part-time positions that were discussed after several workshops that we had since July. And that.
Okay, those 2 were in there, but she's asking 2 more, correct?
Yes.
So a total of 4.
A total of 4.
No, that is not in the budget, and therefore, when you open the meeting to say that this budget will be balanced, I can't say it's going to be balanced now, it's going to be adding
So
2
we already
additional,
have
a total
that's
of
good.
4.
Okay.
Okay,
We'll just leave it like as it is.
then I take it back. We don't need 2 more. We already have the ones on the
So do you want to rescind your motion?
Yes, I do.
And Councilman Jimenez, if you could rescind your second as
I'll
well.
rescind the second.
Okay, then it's rescinded.
There's been a motion and a second to rescind to amend the city's organizational chart to add 3 more part-time laborers to the department. Citizens' comments?
There won't, because there's not any action on here, so if it's your sponsored item, so you can pull it, or we can do a motion for no action, that's up to you.
So we can go on?
Yeah, if you say that you'll pull it down.
That's fine.
Okay.
Thank you.
All
All right, we'll go to the next item F. CNA to approve 15,000, and I'm going to read the CNA as it's stated on the agenda, but we're going to amend it. Okay, so CNA to approve 15,000 for tuition reimbursement funds that may be applied to higher education or go to training and certifications for the employees. The way this should have read was to a CNA to approve $15,000 for training and certifications for the employees. And that was the 15,000 that was slated for tuition reimbursement, isn't that right?
Yeah, and here, because it says maybe apply to higher education or go to training and certifications for the employees, it still meets the posted requirements because the issue of training and certifications for employees was mentioned in the posted agenda.
Okay.
Would that be the same as Q?
Yeah, that would overlap with Q, yes, ma'am.
So do we do both of them together?
We're taking it down in order, and when we get to Q, it'll be circled for,
Okay.
depending on what action is taken in.
Or whatever.
Or it could be taken up again if somebody wants to, but.
All right.
Okay. So it's CNA to approve 15,000 for training and certification for employees.
If that's the motion you would like to make, then that can be the motion that you'd like, that you can
Training
make.
purposes.
All right, are you making the motion, Councilman?
Yes.
All right, now I have a second. To approve 15,000 to go for training and certification of employees.
Do we have a current policy in place for this?
If it's just talking about training, then there's no need for a policy for tuition reimbursement.
I have a motion, may I have a second?
What's our current budget for training?
Depending on
I
each
guess the
department.
motion is just to supplement it for 15,000?
Yes, the motion is to supplement it. Because the idea is to cancel the college tuition,
I
right?
get that idea. What I can't tell you, each department is different. Each training is different depending on what they're going to need for certification. So if I understand you correctly, you want to take that $15,000 and
just spent to them on the training.
Yes, for training certification for
Yes, and no
our
college
city.
tuition reimbursement.
Yes.
For any employee.
For any employee.
I have a motion, may I have a second?
I'll second.
All right, I have a motion and a second. Citizens' comments? No comments? All those in favor?
I didn't see.
Please raise your right hand.
1, 3.
3,
All those opposed?
1.
Madam Secretary?
3-1, Mayor.
3-1, motion carries. All right, we'll go to item G. CNA to remove budget line item for the proposed part-time finance position. Can we have some explanation of what actually that is? Is that an assistant for the finance department?
You can ask Councilman Jimenez a
But
question.
it didn't read the way I wanted it to read. Actually, what I wanted was CNA to remove budget line item for the proposed part-time finance position and add another street or water employee for the same salary.
Yeah, so this will just be split in two, so it'd be one to remove and then one to
Yeah, we'll do the.
add the budget there.
But if I may, Chris, I'm not proposing that part-time position based on the revised conversation with that's not a new position that we are revising to do as a part-time position. What I am proposing is something later on the agenda tonight is a contracted temporary accountant's position, but based after following several discussions and workshops, the city manager is not proposing or recommending part-time position.
So the budget funds from last year have been removed from the budget this year?
Yes.
Okay, so item G, we just, no action on this?
Right. They would already have been removed per Ms. Turner's proposal.
What we had discussed in the budget meeting.
Yes, sir.
Okay. I still need a CNA.
Well, it'd be, if Councilman Jimenez, since it's his item, he can pull it down.
We don't have to do it.
Take no action. Okay, I have a motion to take no action.
We don't need, just like the previous one, since he was the sponsor, he can pull it down.
All right, so he can't do it. Fine. We'll go on to the next one. CNA to amend city's organizational chart to add another street and water laborer. Councilman Jimenez?
Okay, so the money that you wanted to utilize for the contractor, for the help of the finance person, I would like to use that money for an extra street.
Okay, Councilman, if I could read this to you. New position that the city manager is proposing in the balanced budget was a new police officer, building inspector, 2 part-time staff laborers, a street laborer, and a street equipment operator. And you want to add a water laborer. You have a
Yes,
vacant
ma'am.
position.
What's that?
You have a vacant position now, and you're asking to add an additional water laborer. Is that what you're saying?
Well, mainly for streets, because
So with the the positions that the city manager is proposing is a new police officer, a building inspector, 2 part-time staff laborers, a street laborer, and a street equipment operator is what I have proposed in my revised.
So an item H, the point is we to take another action.
No action.
It would be, right now, there's 1 laborer. If Council Jimenez wanted 2 laborers, it would still be valid. If he was asking for 1 laborer, then there's already 1
extra
included.
labor, so that way we have enough for the streets.
Oh, and then she's already got 1 included in the
I know,
new.
but an extra one.
Oh, you want 1 more,
So
okay.
you want 2 additional street laborers and a street operator.
Yes.
A street operator for a maintainer?
No. So, right now we only have 4, we're gonna have 6, that would be 1 more extra. And he could be utilized for the streets and for the.
For water,
For the
as
water.
necessary.
In case that those part-timers be utilized?
No, those are parks.
I just want to reiterate, we're going to talk about water laborers. Water laborers should have a water license, and so they're required to have a water certificate. For your streets, you do not have to have.
Yeah, well, that's one of the reasons I wanted to shift that money into training, so that way we could get certified people here within the city.
Well, hopefully, that's fine. We've been spending money to have them be certified and licensed, like we need to pass the test, but yes, we can have them do that.
So what are you trying to say, that our
I'm
workers
saying-
aren't smart enough to
I'm
pass
saying
that?
that.
Is that what you're saying?
I'm saying we've invested some money in there, and we've sent them to
No,
be tested.
excuse me.
And some of them have
Can you
not passed the test.
reiterate what you just said?
I said we've invested and had them to go out and have, the city has invested to have them to go, but we need them to pass the test so they can become certified. So if I can understand you correctly, you'd like to have an additional water laborer
Yes,
or
ma'am.
additional street laborer?
That's what I have here.
Additional street and water laborer, what you have on the agenda.
Yes, either for the water or for the streets.
Just one.
Okay, well, for the streets.
So may I have a motion?
Excuse me, Madam Mayor, we're hiring streets and, but do we have plans? What they actually we're gonna tackle?
Well, right now, we don't have street program at all, zero. So we need a street program, sir.
And I understand that.
Okay.
But we don't have the machines.
We have machines, we got new machines. All the machines that she said that were broken, they're not broken.
In the budget meeting, we said we would have one street laborer and one operator for the street program. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay, so what you want to do is you want
Add
to
another.
add another
Yes.
street and another water laborer.
Another one.
No, just one
You're
street.
canceling the water.
Yeah, either street
In the
or
motion.
for water, yes.
Okay, so we will wind up with 2 street laborers and 1 operator for street program. Is that correct?
I'm gonna follow up what Mr. Ortiz says.
We don't have plan, and I understand we need help for our streets are getting worse and worse.
Well, then, you got to move
I
on.
understand, but we don't have a plan to tackle it.
We need a plan to work on the streets.
We don't. I don't know if right now I'm not about this.
Mr. Rivera, I ask you, if these positions are approved, when would you expect to hire these positions?
We would advertise it to start with October 1 with the budget.
And to begin work?
It would take time, however, we have somebody to interview and go through that process.
But to begin the work of the street?
Well, we just had all of the equipment to be certified. Some of them were tagged and deemed unsafe. So we have to see when we have everything up and running. But this is not the season to start the street program. But it is one of the items on the agenda. Is to bring it in-house, rather than to outsource it.
Any other comments?
So, okay, let me ask, when would you hire them?
October 1, starting October 1.
We don't have to hire them. We can make a motion to hire them, but not that day, just because our fiscal year goes into October 1st. Doesn't mean we have to hire them. Let's get a plan with this under consideration and vote for it. Then when we come with the plan, then we could say, okay, now we're ready to go, let's go forward. That's what it's plan. This is what we need. And I've been addressing this. He's not the only one. We've been at the place all over town, on the streets, potholes, all this and that. And
We're losing all the streets because of the potholes. There's, right now, they just now started working on the potholes. And every time we get a rain, we're losing the streets worse and worse and worse because of it.
And with that course.
And right now, we don't have anybody implementing everything.
Sorry, say
We don't have anyone implementing anything right now, as we speak. Nobody knows where our street guys are doing weed eating.
Any other comments? If not, let me have a motion to add another street laborer.
I'll second it, but with the stipulation that whenever we
I need a
have.
motion. I need a motion first. Do you want to make another comment before we take a motion? All right, let me have a motion first.
I made
You
a
made the
motion.
motion?
Yes.
Oh, just for the street, right?
Yes,
Laborer,
correct.
all right, and you seconded it,
Correct.
Councilman Ortiz?
Correct.
All right, and have citizens' comments? No comments, all right, all those in favor of adding? Okay. Raise your right hand, please, I don't, okay. 2, 3.
4.
All opposed?
All 4.
You seconded the motion.
Right.
Did you vote already?
Yeah.
Yes.
I don't think so. Okay.
You did.
You're- I know we're all
can't see on
getting
that.
tired.
I can't see.
All four of them eventually.
Okay.
All right, 4-0.
4-0, Mayor. I can't-
Motion passes.
I'll let you.
I can't see
Councilman
any.
Tahani.
The next one, I, CNA to amend the city's organization chart to allocate the laborer that currently, that's the same. That's the same
So
one.
that's the same one.
No
No
action.
action.
Councilman Jimenez, are you okay with?
Yes, no action.
No action, okay. J, to establish a bereavement policy for employees concerning loss of a spouse or child. Councilman Jimenez, it's yours.
Yeah, just merely stipulating that it's permitted for your kids or your spouse.
Okay, for the immediate family,
Yes.
that the bereavement policy,
Mayor, the agreement policy includes your mother-in-law, your father-in-law, your mother, your direct family. It doesn't just include your spouse or your child.
Yeah, the mother, father, brother,
So it would follow the bereavement policy. If you get a day for bereavement, the bereavement policy for flowers follows that bereavement policy.
we have a policy in place that includes a whole lot of people. So what this CNA does is to establish one that concerns the loss of a spouse or a child.
It would narrow the scope of the
It gives
bereavement.
more scope. So this policy is speaking to giving flowers and or some type of bereavement. And so this would only speak to the child and spouse, not necessarily
All the family.
the whole family that actually would get a bereavement day for.
All right.
So if somebody's parent,
If someone's parents passed, then the city will not be sending flowers.
but this is, the J is bereavement policy, has nothing regarding expenses for,
The policy talked about, the policy that this is referring to, that we discussed, was actually sending flowers to staff.
This would eliminate, for example, you have a brother that lives in Michigan and nobody knows about it. He passed away and you forgot about it. And the city didn't send anything. Or if they live in different parts of the country. So that way you have it's only limited to your kids and your spouse.
All I'm saying, Councilman, is that the policy that we're speaking of here is a policy in reference to flower arrangements.
Yes, but that's what we're talking about.
Yes. And so this would only allow for a spouse or a child.
Yes,
Just bringing
maybe
up
spouse
to
and children.
your attention that your bereavement policy includes others than your spouse and your child. So you would have a bereavement day for your brother in Ohio, but you would necessarily send anything to the family to say that the city, in condolences or some type of sympathy, to not to exceed $50.
You're narrowing it down, that's all you're doing.
No, so you're narrowing it down to
Yes.
a child or a spouse.
Okay? Any other comments?
He's
Council?
narrowing down the thing,
Then make the motion, please.
just a minute.
Can you see it?
CNA to establish a bereavement policy for employees concerning loss of a spouse or child.
Okay. We have a motion, may I have a second?
I'll second.
A motion and a second. Citizens' comments? Yes, sir.
I'm Nick Winston. What you just said, without adding the flowers, you're changing your whole policy.
That's what,
Because that's what you just said, your whole policy. No more giving days off to you if your daddy dies, no more nothing.
No, we're
That's how you
still-
continue. Because you didn't say flowers, you didn't specify. You have to specify.
And you can clarify on there for the motion, if you want to rescind and make a motion to say just, to establish for the expenses,
well, that's,
but not to affect the days off.
Right.
that's what we've been talking about.
So if you pull it back and do the motion as amended, then you can resubmit it.
Employees concerned.
So he needs to rescind.
Rescind and then remake the motion as
So you
amended.
rescind that one, that's the way you made it. And rescind the motion.
So rescind the motion.
You rescind the second, the motion and the second have been rescinded. Now, please make a new motion
Be
to
the-
include flowers.
I do the motion to amend the bereavement policy to remove expenses for family members of employees except for spouse or child. And that'll keep the days off, but it'll remove the $50 bereavement or condolence, the flowers or the plaque or things like that.
Okay, however you said it.
Will you repeat it, please?
I don't know if I can. It's a motion to amend the bereavement policy to limit expenses of the city to employees concerning the loss of a spouse or a child, but maintain the bereavement leave. Because that's what you're looking, right? Just to limit it so that you're not sending flowers to, like you said, the brother in Michigan or something like that. Or something like that.
All right, so,
And then it's just spouse or child.
so we have a motion and
Second.
a second already. So, citizens' comments? No comments. All in favor?
Aye.
Raise your right hand. All opposed?
Okay.
Wait.
All right, we have,
Okay.
Councilwoman Company, would you oppose it? Okay.
2 opposed and 2 for.
No, 3, 1 second. And Danny voted yes.
None.
No.
And then Councilman Tahada voted no.
You voted no.
I think
So-
our bereavement policy should be the same across the board.
Exactly.
2-2.
I
You get to
know.
vote, Madam Mayor.
I can tell. I'm going to vote for it. To respect it? Yes.
3-2.
Let's go on to the next item. CNA to amend city's organizational chart to add a code compliance position. Councilman Jimenez?
Yes, CNA to amend city organization chart to add a code compliance position, starting pay at $12 to $15 per hour for code compliance person.
Council, any comments?
Ms. Stern, is that one of the positions you have as a new position?
No, sir.
10 to, what did you say?
$12 to $15 an hour.
12.
You don't have a code compliance?
No.
But the police officer is one back to the PD.
He's gone.
He's gone. Okay, so that position is then needed?
We're speaking to the organizational chart,
Yes.
and so the code enforcement position is not on the new proposed organizational chart. The building inspector is, but code enforcement is not proposed by the city manager.
Any other comments, council? Okay, let me have a motion then.
I'll make the motion to amend organization chart to add a code compliance position, starting at $12 to $15 per hour for our position.
Is it full? Mr. Hyde, should we?
You can do a maximum of $15 per hour
I don't
if you
want
want
to
that.
go back to 15.
It's-
Per hour.
Yeah, to start.
Okay, may I have a second?
Second.
Okay, I have a motion and a second. Citizens' comments? No comments? All those in favor?
4-0.
4-0, motion carries. Item L, CNA regarding budgeted amount for signage at the Lago GW on the 3rd floor of the Event Center. Councilman Ortiz?
Thank you, Madam Mayor, Council, staff, and guests. I'm going to be talking about this budget amount that last year we had budgeted so much and this much this year. It's for $100,000. Henrietta, can you update us on that?
We received 2 bids today, September 8th, 5 o'clock. The secretary opened them up. I believe the lowest bid was
61.
161, the highest, like about 190.
LED sign?
The LED sign at the event center.
Where was this gonna be located?
Right in front
Right
of
down
the,
Highway 97.
In front of the president?
this is to promote the event center as a vehicle pass by.
Yeah.
Was this in the budget already?
We have a budget amount in there, but we just received bids today.
Okay, but this money, we could use it on, with the FEDC advertisement?
No.
You have to apply for FEDC to receive their money for advertisement. I believe their maximum is 7,500.
7,500 per month
Maximum,
or?
or maximum per application.
Wow.
But you can use hotel motel tax to pay for this.
And those ones have been there since last year, so
There, it was at 100,000 in the,
No.
how much is in the budget?
For last year?
$100,000 is what we have proposed in the budget.
So there's 61,000
But what's coming in?
between that and the
You're saying the
bid.
bid was at 180?
One was at 168.
Once, 161,000 and change, and the other one was 198 or 90-something thousand.
Yeah.
You went out for bids ready for this?
yeah.
Councilman, we received those bids today at 5 o'clock. And we opened them up today at 5 o'clock. And I've only had an opportunity to look at the bottom line for both of them. I'll be reviewing them later on tomorrow. But the
So
bid-
that was your lowest bid, 161?
The lowest bid was 161. We
So
said
we
out to
only
over
have
100,000.
100,000?
We only budgeted 100,000.
Okay.
And that did not include the electrical work. This is just for the sign itself. Because you would need to get power there. So that's not included in that bid.
In reality, we had those funds last year, 100,000, so they just got carried over this year. Correct?
Yeah, there were hotel motel funds that were earmarked for
So that money's
summer.
already allocated?
$100,000 in this current budget. We had $100,000 in the next budget. But we
And,
have to adjust that based on the bids.
And I would like to add to this that we are getting a sports complex, and this would really attract those spectators and promote the event center and the city.
Are the funds available to go to multi-time?
Yes, sir.
And what's our current budget on
I couldn't tell you off the top of my head, and my comptroller is not feeling well tonight, so she's not here.
that? So you're comfortable now paying another $70,000 for that?
What you did earlier? Yes, sir.
I'm sorry?
Yes.
What did you say?
I said because you eliminated the position tonight, and you'll be funding for the sign. It comes out the same budget item.
Yeah.
So the CNA should include the additional amount?
That is what the CME, to increase the budget line item for that too.
Okay, now have a motion then.
Make a motion in regard to the budget amounts to be amended to 170,000.
No.
Fair?
Just to increase it, right? Just to, Mr. Hodges?
Yeah, to set it, you can do it to set it at $170,000.
170,000.
All right, now have a second.
This is not actual purchasing yet. We're not-
Correct. This is not approving bids, this is not doing anything, this is allocating in the budget line item for that.
May I have a second? All right, citizens' comments? None, all those in favor? All opposed?
4-0?
4-0, motion carries. CNA to approve the, or
Set it at 170.
CNA to amend the city's organization chart to change the status of one part-time employee position in the municipal court to a full-time position and increase the rate of pay. Councilman Ortiz?
Thank you, Madam Mayor, Council, staff, and guests. I'm introducing this one. We have one part-time. As a matter of fact, Judge, can you?
I'm not going to take any action on the account.
You're not going to take no action?
we're gonna put no action on it, I don't know action on it. We're gonna suspend it for a while, because I'm gonna use the other part-time to give this part-time a full-time.
Okay, so we
And then later
table
now-
it.
We table this motion?
We should table it?
For no action.
Do that what? We should table
So
it?
come back.
Yeah.
Okay.
So we're gonna go to M.
Okay, well, let us go to the motion first, okay?
Make a motion to table this.
Okay.
I'll second.
Thank you. Item M has been tabled.
We need a vote. Or citizens comment first, since it is technically,
Oh, I'm sorry. Any comments on this one? Okay?
and then a vote.
Those in favor of tabling it, raise your right hand.
4-0.
Okay, motion carries. C, and item M, CNA to increase the municipal court clerk's rate of pay.
Should I do some handout?
Council?
That's,
Henrietta, during the budget workshop, we discussed salary increases. How is the municipal court different?
No different than any other employee. So that employee can be given a 2.5% to 4.5% based on the evaluation that will be given by the municipal judge.
What's different, Judge, than a regular,
What's the difference between?
we've already gone through the process of approving budget for salaries, so what's different on these employees?
Well, my employees, they're all the work they do is legal. Everything has to be legal in there, because it's a court system.
So that's the difference, legal.
You mean,
That's the difference, legal.
legal work, yeah. I got a girl right now who's a chief clerk. She's graduating from the police academy at SAC, probably next week. We got another girl, and she got a degree in criminal justice. Now I want to compete with county and county jail. They're getting $15.47 an hour over there. And we're over here with $12. And I want to keep my health.
How does that calculate, Mr. with that 4.5, up to 4.5%?
Not to exceed 4.5%. That increase would exceed 4.5%.
It would match that, what did you want, did you say?
Excuse me?
Your amount, the salary.
My amount?
For
Oh, for them?
Right.
It's on the sheet there.
It's on the handout.
Okay, that's good.
how much does, can I ask, Madam?
Yes, please.
How much does the city bring in
You mean the court?
yearly, more or less?
I'd say what, 60-something thousand? It's usually between 4,000 and 5,000 a week.
So on my estimate at the last executive overview for your funds that come in, the court actually cost, and that budget is about $155,000. And at the end of the day, the in and out is about 160, so the net's about $5,000. Now, I know that doesn't sound like a lot, but typically, courts don't pay for themselves. It's a service that the city has to provide or chooses to provide, and so in this case, it's a net gain of about $5,000.
And from a legal point of view on here, the court can't be set up to make money. That's against the policy of the state of Texas. So the court funds should be used on court personnel and things like that.
Okay, so we're talking about $5,000 that we can,
It's up for council discretion. It can always go over. The court isn't limited to what it brings in, but you can't try to set up the court to bring money into the general fund. That is against policy of the state of Texas.
Ms. Turner, we discussed.
But you have your employee business, and what he's presented to you, the first time I've seen it, is a part-time employee at 30 hours. You cannot have a part-time employee at 30 hours. If you have a part-time employee that works 30 hours, then you have to let them participate in the Texas Municipal League retirement fund, because they're considered to be working more than so many hours in a year. So we typically try to keep them less than 30 hours. Because if you have a 30-hour employee that is a full-time position.
But I don't think that's the item that we're on.
This is not a part-time, it's a full-time.
This is for the municipal court clerk position.
They're in,
The
Henrietta.
municipal court
You're talking about the
clerk.
rate.
Yeah.
For N.
N.
And on his end,
Oh.
he had here, what he submitted to the council was actually the rate, and he listed 30 hours for the part-time position.
But this isn't the part-time, this is the full-time municipal court clerk position.
We're only addressing the
The full-time,
full-time.
not the part-time that was calculated.
Right. That one was
What are
tabled.
we looking at? 30102?
Yes. That's your full-time position. Your municipal court clerk, the first one.
Is this a change in the budget?
Yes, sir. You-
How does this compare to the full-time clerks up front, the city?
It's much higher. Those salaries range between 12 and 13, except for the one who has the most longevity. If you look at the fold-out sheet, yes, it would be higher than your front desk clerks.
I was like, it is a much more specialized position. There's a lot of reporting to the state and things like that that are handled by the position.
Is there no other questions or comments? May I have a
Okay,
motion?
so let me understand, we're talking about a court clerk, going above the 4.5%, and we're trying to, equalize the pay. Is that what we're trying to do?
Yeah. Correct. That's a good term. Equalize pay with competing opportunities, competing local opportunities. Oh, you said the Wilson County Jail was the big one that's hiring it.
County jail.
But those are elected positions, then?
No. Jailers and.
Oh, you're talking about the other.
No.
All the employees.
I didn't get it.
The jailers, they start at 15.47.
Any other questions? Comments? All right, let me have a motion, please.
So move, Madam Mayor.
May I have a second to increase the municipal clerk's rate of pay?
Second.
Okay, I have a motion and a second. Citizens' comments? All those in favor? All, any opposed? In opposition? All right, 4-0, Madam Mayor. I mean, Madam. I'm getting tired. Madam Secretary.
It's 9 o'clock.
The motion carries. Okay, let's address the next one.
The judge.
To increase the municipal court judge's annual salary.
Judge?
I haven't had a raise since I started, and I'm supposed to work 20 hours, but everybody says I'm here every day, so I'm working 30 or sometimes close to 40 hours,
Do you still have a contract, Judge, the original contract? or-
Yes, ma'am, but it expired and we only renew it.
When did it expire?
Diane had put down December of last year.
Okay, and it was never addressed?
No, and you all have 3 months, you know, to redo it. And after the 3 months, I get an automatic 2 years. And Rosenberg was telling me that they never renewed you, and that's why you were 22 years.
Okay.
Because we kept getting to renew it, you know.
So do
But
you know?
it's at the expense of, I guess, the mayor,
Mayor Rosen?
no, the mayor is the one that.
Who brings
Did
it
you
out?
have to come up at the appointment or the election of the mayor?
I should have, but I came in October, and when Diane signed the papers, after I got sworn in and everything, she put that I was supposed to run in December, this past December. You know.
Ram, is that correct? The judge gets appointed?
Yeah.
It
Every 2 years.
automatically, if you don't
Mhm.
reappoint a different judge, then it just rolls over.
Yeah.
It just, you just keep reappointing him until you appoint someone.
Right, okay.
So it's like an automatic renewal, it just rolls over.
But it rolls over, it doesn't change anything with the contract or the salary, it just continues for another 2 years at what it was before. So to do any raises or anything like that, it has to come to council. So he's still the judge for 2 years because that was, nobody else was appointed before that expired.
But we're fixing to have another mayor. Re-election, so he comes up again?
No,
No.
I automatically would renew
The renewal was December of 2015, I believe.
March of 16.
Oh, because it was a three months after the
Yeah.
December,
I got
yeah.
a 90 days after.
So what increase are we talking about? What is the increase that we're?
Well, I thought I told one, at least, you know, 6,000 a year, which would give me 500 a month. But then, you don't realize that maybe 150 out of 250 and 250 and 250.
So,
So what percent are you looking at?
Excuse me?
And then put it about 27%.
20, something?
at a $500 increase per month?
Yes, it's 4.5, looking at 1,125 increase at 4.5 because I believe you received $2,000 a month.
Right now?
Yes, yes. So it's $2,000 a month, $2,000 a year, and so somewhere around $5,000 increase would put it at about 26 to 27%.
Council?
Can we make him full-time? That is an appointed position, he is not an employee.
Okay.
He's an appointment.
He's an appointed position.
I don't know how much longer I'll be here, but a couple of guys ain't getting part already, you know.
Exactly when was your last race?
Excuse me?
Never had a race. Oh, you never had one? You've been on the bench?
But see, on this is an appointment, you don't ask for raises or anything.
Guaranteed, huh?
No, but I'm just saying, you know, that's how.
In the old version.
How does our docket look? Judge?
How does the docket look?
Are we clear? Are we caught up with everything that?
We're catching up to the server issue. We should be close to it. Punch everything back in manually because we lost all the information. But the warrants are caught up, and you know, every time we put warrants out, we bring in bad money. We did a little good now yesterday because he really put some.
What is it now?
Excuse me?
What is it now? What's the thing now?
What's the pay?
The pay now?
This is not a full time.
$2,000 a month. That's what we're supposed to draw. But then they take out, you know, taxes and all.
No, of course, that's.
And Council Lee for 500 sold. Any other comments? If not, let me have a motion, please.
Your employment contract reads so many hours per week, or what is it?
A part-time position, we went through that, me and her, and supposed to put in 20 hours a week.
You could wait.
Yeah, you go on board. You'll record. You'll get paid for it. I'll find out what it's announcement.
So this is beyond the 4.5%, Ms. Turner?
Yeah.
Councilman Ortiz, this is your item.
So moved, Madam Mayor.
All right, may I have a session? To increase the municipal court clerk's rate of pay for a specific amount or just to increase the amount?
Yeah. Municipal court judges.
Oh, we're under, Mayor, municipal court.
She just
judges.
accidentally said clerk, not.
I'm sorry, yes, I read that one.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. All right, to increase the municipal court judge's annual salary,
As stated by the judge.
well, would you
So
reduce
it'd
the
be
rate?
$6,000
What
a
percent
year.
is that?
$500 more.
No, he had said
He's
$6,000.
$6,000 a year, which is $500 a month.
Which is, yeah, 500 a month, which is probably about 27%, 26%.
What's that gonna do to our budget?
Salary.
We can.
It will affect your general fund. You pay out of the general fund.
6,000. I'm gonna put 6,000.
Yeah, that's what the judge said, it was $6,000 a year first.
Can you minimize the amount? Because we don't have the funds.
Minimize it to 300. That would be 15%.
I'll rescind my motion and enter a new one for 300.
Per month?
An increase of 300 per month. Who seconded that motion?
Nobody had seconded, Madam Mayor.
All right, so the motion has been made,
There was-
the old one has been rescinded, and we have a new motion
Yes.
to increase the municipal court judge's annual salary by $300. I'm sorry, per month. Is that correct?
Correct.
Okay, we have a second. Citizen comment? Yes, sir.
My name is Nick Nissen. This is something the attorney needs to look. If our judge has worked over 30 hours for over 5 weeks, he's becoming full-time. You're going to have to protect him because he's giving stuff away.
He's an appointed, basically salaried position, so it's not based on hourly.
Appointed people.
Right, but he's a salaried appointed position, so.
Gotta look at that.
I know, with the general is 54,000, I know, well aware of that with the city, but he's an accepted appointed position for municipality.
Okay.
Thank you. All right. Any other comments? Any other comments? No? All right. Vote. All in favor? Opposed? 4-0.
4-0?
Yes.
The next item, P, CNA to approve short-term disability insurance. Mr. Turner?
Yes, we had a presentation on the short-term disability. I believe the cost is going to be approximately $10,000. It is a benefit for your employees, and if they're hurt other than workman's comp, this will cover them for 60% of their salary for 6 months, which matches up with your policy. As you saw in the read also counts as, everybody talks about family leave, active maternity leave. Right now, the young lady goes on maternity leave.
she gets no salary, she has to be off her vacation because it's unpaid leave. This will allow for a 60% of the maternity leave as well.
I make a motion that we approve the short-term disability insurance.
I'll second that motion.
All right, we have a motion and a second to approve it. Citizens' comments? To approve the short-term disability insurance. Do we have any comments? None, let's take a vote. All those in favor?
4-0.
Opposed, 4-0, motion carries. Next item, Q, that had no action, right?
No action.
It's kicked out. R, CNA to approve adjustments in salary and equity.
Yeah, the city secretary.
Order.
I can't hear. I'm hearing them back there.
I'm sorry, Miss Henrietta, can you?
That's
Wait, let's just a little bit.
in the council meeting, we had several different employees, PPD term inequities. And so I gave you a chart this morning, I refer to the chart of inequity in the positions, and that is what that's referring to.
And I think we've all heard them. So any questions? All right, any comments on this one? All those in favor?
I think it's not been a motion, ma'am.
To approve the adjustments in.
All right, make a motion.
I make the motion.
May I have a second?
Second.
All right. Now may I have citizens' comments? None? All right, all those in favor? To approve the disability? Okay.
No, this is the salary inequities.
You're right, I'm sorry. To approve the adjustment in salary and equities. All those in favor? Any opposed? Most of,
When,
4-0?
No, we're on R. We're on R.
Or, did everybody, I can't see.
Councilman Tahada abstained.
Okay. So it's,
okay, so what,
yes,
Madam Secretary, what was it?
301?
301, okay, motion carries. Item S, are we on the right one?
No.
To approve merit raises from 2.5% to 4.5%.
second.
Citizens' comments? None, all those in favor, raise your right hand. All those opposed? 4-0, Madam Secretary, motion carries. Item T, CNA to approve longevity pay.
I make a motion to approve longevity.
Okay, may I have a second?
Second.
And is this going to remain what it was last year? Is that the motion?
All right, citizen comment?
None.
All right. Those talking in the back, do you have any comments on this item? No? Thank you, Judge. All right, all those in favor? All those opposed to the longevity pay? Did you vote, Councilman?
Yes.
Okay, I didn't see your hands go up. 4-0.
4-0.
Motion carries. I'm sorry, I didn't say it. Next item, U, CNA to approve administrative staff salaries being split funded to the general, the water, and the sewer funds.
I make a motion to approve.
All right, may I have a second?
Second.
I have a motion and a second, citizens' comments? None? All those in favor?
Oh, yes.
Raise your right hand.
4-0?
4-0, motion carries. Next one, CNA to approve all new positions. And what are those positions?
The positions would be the new police officer, building inspector, code enforcement officer, 2 part-time park staff, 2 street laborers, and a street equipment operator.
Is that correct?
That's correct. But again, my concern is, like Mr. Ortiz mentioned, if we're gonna hire street people, what would be the plan of action? We should have a plan of action first, I believe. Do you agree with anyone else?
Well, I think the sooner they get on the road, the better. So,
While someone develops the plan, is that what you're saying?
well, There shouldn't have to be a plan right now. We have too much construction on the road. We should be able to start any day, any minute.
Did that include the code compliance?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, can you, I'll get the list from you. I'll get them.
I have a motion on the floor to approve all new positions. May I have a second?
I second.
I have a motion and a second. Citizens' comments? None. All in favor of approving the new positions? 4-0. None opposed. Nope, there's more.
Oh, wait.
Item W.
That was only B.
To approve using the street department for the street maintenance program. Instead of contractors, is that correct? City manager?
Yes.
Okay. Any comments on this one? On item W, CNA to approve using the street department for the street maintenance program.
Okay, we gotta be careful on this, because we may need a contractor to come in. Is it saying that you don't want a contractor to come in at all?
No, sir. It would, council would still be open to, if we need a contractor, you could still direct to go out for a bid or something.
Okay, I just read, I just said instead of contractors, because I thought that was taking the place, but we don't need to do that, right?
Correct.
But I mean, that's our program anyway, so we don't have to take any action on that.
This would
Or
transfer
action on that.
the majority in-house and then allow for contractors if necessary instead of starting out with contractors.
I mean, that's what we're doing now.
Going there. Yeah.
What is the difference?
The difference would be that you said that you wanted, especially, I know you discussed this many times in the workshop, was that you wanted to bring the street program to be done by in-house rather than the contract now as you did last year when you first had the street program, which you haven't had in years. So in order to move forward with the street maintenance program based on if you did it, you said you wanted to go in-house rather than outsource.
Well, what I'm really saying that we need to start our own program. Okay, I mean, if you need to bring in the contractor, at certain point we might have to, but whatever we can handle with our street program, keep it up. You understand what I'm saying? So, I mean, I don't think it's necessary to take any action on this. I mean, because if you're gonna bring a contractor to bring something in, it's gonna have to come in before the council meeting, correct?
So no action.
Or do you agree with that, Mr. Turner? No action on that one, because it's your item?
I agree.
Okay. No action on item W. X, CNA to approve temporary accountant services.
Yes, Mayor and City Council, in reference of lieu of hiring a part-time person, I discussed with the comptroller and we can hire to get caught up on bank records and other things so that we won't have a delay in the audit to hire a person temporarily, like an accountant service or employment services, to be able to come in and work for a period of time and then leave once we get caught up. And that's what this will do. You can do it not to exceed amount of people.
Are you looking for an assistant for Connie? I mean, excuse me, for the comptroller?
Yes, sir.
Is this the one that comes into,
They would come in to assist during heavy periods of time. So right now to get caught up on our bank recs, and then again, we can contract them to come out and help us to get ready for the audit itself. So it would just be a temporary person, that person not even bringing at the time, they would be established, work it through an agency itself. Based on your approval or non-approval, we'll get some bids for different accounts.
so is this to reconcile bank statements?
Bank statements, anything else we need to do to help finance get caught up.
How much you budgeting on that?
You can have a not to exceed amount of somewhere between $15,000 to $20,000 every month.
$15,000 per year?
$15,000 per year.
Well, who used to reconcile statements and?
Well, we have.
What position did this job before?
You have so many different new things that you've never had before. So if you have an additional $15 million you're having to pay to do, or you're adding other different entities, and so with the tax notes and other entities and actually financing, it's taking a lot. And so what we wanted to do is get caught up with the bank recs, and then allow us to make sure that we can have someone to come in to help and to assist when we're ready to go through the auditing process.
When you're saying get caught up with the bank, what are you saying, that your comptroller's not up to par right now, or?
No, that's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is that you have a lot more to do now. You have a lot more funding that you have to do now that we haven't had to do before.
So we haven't started this $15 million process yet. We're fixing to start on it.
Oh, we've been working on this $15 million project, sir, for the last year.
No, I understand that. But what you're saying, that you're gonna need assistance for when that comes in?
No, sir. What I'm
Working on it,
saying,
or that she's behind on what?
bank recs. And so there's some day-to-day bank recs that you need to do. And based on your audit, when your auditor came in, he said that the person that writes the checks and auditors should have someone different to do your bank recs. And this person will come in and do your bank recs as a matter of checks and balances. It was recommended by your auditor to be able to do that because it's not a one-person show. It takes more than that.
Did he recommend that because our comptroller's not being caught up, or does everybody do that?
Every entity is different. But he did recommend some assistance in that department to help us get caught up with the bank recs and to get on top of the bank recs. And just like you do your taxes, your accountant comes in, straightens some things out, and then
I understand we're a year behind on reconciling statements. Is that true?
that's true. Yes.
So, how do we, what do we do when we don't reconcile statements? I mean, how do we know that we're balanced?
More balanced, it just takes time to hide and delay. You just finished up your audit. Your audit came in and said you're fine. I know you were at that meeting to say that your audit said we're fine, everything's done.
But how's the auditor gonna know that if those?
Auditors are a year behind, not current, they audit a year behind. So they always, just like the taxes, so a year behind. And so the constant trying to get caught up is a lot in reference to helping out with the budget and all those other things that we're doing. So this was my recommendation based on after you all decided in discussion at the workshop, not to hire a part-time person, but to come in and have someone to assist. It is a specialized field. So you could have an accountant's company come in to assist, to get caught up, and then move on.
And what was the total dollar?
I recommend not to exceed $20,000.
You said 15,000?
I said between $15,000 and $20,000 is what I said.
Well, I'm gonna go ahead and approve temporary accounting services. Accounting services,
Or not to exceed 15?
not to exceed,
15,000.
well, between 15 and 20,000, whatever.
No, not to exceed 20.
Is that okay, Ms. Andrea?
Yes, $20,000 per ton.
Well, that 20,000, that's almost a half a year's time, huh? Or, well,
Okay, we have a motion on the floor. May I have a second?
I'll second the motion.
Okay. We have a motion and a second to approve the temporary account services. May I have a citizen's comments? None? All right. All those in favor? Raise your right hand. All opposed? Did you get the numbers, Madam?
4-0, ma'am.
Okay, 4-0, thank you. All right, next item. Y, a CNA to approve a resolution to submit an outdoor recreation grant application and is awarded to accept a grant from the Texas Department of Parks and Wildlife for a project in the Floresville River Park. Mrs. Turner?
Yes, ma'am, this has to do with the public hearing to review the application of due October 1.
Any questions, council?
I so move.
May I have a second?
I second.
Citizens' comments? All in favor? Raise your right hand.
4-0, ma'am.
Okay, 4-0, motion carries. Item Z, CNA to approve a resolution to prevent mining and drilling on city property being utilized for a Texas Parks and Wildlife Development project. Mrs. Turner?
Yes, ma'am, this is a requirement of the Texas Wildlife in reference to that project that you cannot drill or mine on that property that you're going to use for the parkland.
Any questions, council?
Yeah, well, I mean, how could we need a water well? We won't be able to drill it.
They're speaking to drilling for oil and
This would involve the minerals. My only concern with this, and I'm not sure, is we need to go back to when the Hughes family granted this over, whether or not we got the minerals on there. We can pass a resolution to prevent it, but there is precedent out there that even if a city has an ordinance or a resolution preventing drilling and mining, if they don't own the minerals take precedence even above that. So I'm not sure what it is, but for the purposes of Parks and Wildlife requesting this, that doesn't affect us now. That might affect us should the Eagleford pick back up and come through this area. But
How about for water?
water would be fine. Water is considered part of the surface, not part of the mineral estate. Even though it's underground, Texas law considers it part of the surface.
So can we put it where there's stipulation that if we need to drill for water, we can?
That should already be included as part of what the
So
resolution.
where it is included, because sometimes there's a lot of red tape behind all this stuff. Just in case we need to ever drill a water well, we still can.
Is Parks and Wildlife, is that their resolution that they
Yes, their
have?
resolution is required as part of the application process. To say that you will not go for mineral rights on the property.
Do you have a copy of the resolution?
We gave.
Because I haven't seen it yet, so.
Is that one or the other one? Can I look at
That's the resolution authorizing.
that one?
Yeah. Yeah, this is actually, it is pretty vague. This says mining or drilling. It doesn't go into mining or drilling into the minerals. So, yeah, I would.
Does it mention the water?
Right, it doesn't. It just says mining or drilling. So drilling a water well.
Water in our resolutions that if we're passing it with.
I would recommend adding it if that's the motion you want to make.
Yes.
And then if that passes council with majority vote, then we can submit the resolution back to Parks and Wildlife with that change.
Sure. So that way, we won't be binding with.
Correct. If that's the motion you would like to make, that can be done. And
Okay.
then
I'd like to make that motion.
With the exception.
All right, to include
water, for drilling for water.
drilling for water.
The exception.
Is that correct?
Correct.
For water.
We have to.
If
No,
necessary.
we're going to, we can.
May I have a motion? May I have a second? I thought you made the motion.
Oh, I thought she had raised her hand. I thought she had raised her hand.
Make-
Oh, I thought she had, like,
Who made the motion? You made the motion,
I
right?
made the
Okay, so who's going to second, who seconded the motion? Councilwoman Thompson, did you? You did not. Do I have a second for the motion?
What's the motion?
If the motion is to approve a resolution to prevent mining and drilling on city property being utilized for a Texas Parks Wildlife Development project with the exception
of drilling
of water well.
for water.
So I have a motion, I need a second. All right, I have 2 seconds. Which one do you want?
I don't care. Ortiz or Tahat?
Ortiz.
Okay.
Citizens' comments? None, all right. All those in favor? Of the motion?
3,
Any opposition?
4.
4-0, motion carries. The last
Did she-
one.
Councilwoman
AA,
Cantu, did you vote for that?
CNA to rescind the resolution designating Trackworks Inc. as the city's grant application preparer. Ms. Turner?
Yes, a new requirement that says you have to go out for procurement and advertise every time you put in for a bid that's going to have federal funds. And at one point in time, we had said that grant work would be a preparer. So you need to rescind that resolution when we're going out and we're saying something forthcoming. Because every time we do an application for CDBG or any other applications, we have to do a procurement policy.
Council? Any questions?
We have to go to the procurement process.
Each and every application, yes.
So moved.
Second. I have a motion and a second. Do we have any citizens' comments? None? All right, all those in favor? 4-0, motion carries. The meeting is adjourned.
9:28.
Yes.
I need 2 people to sign for the,
For Monday's meeting?
yeah. I need 2 signatures, council, for Monday's special meeting. We have to have a public hearing. On Monday.
Also, I will look for different pricing, but that's exactly what is the safest, and it would hold the weight of the inverse jumping. And then you've got different options as far as how to transport it, doing on railings, there's some more add-ons that you can get. But that thing looks like a professional grade.
No.
Yeah, I'll keep shopping around, and I'm sure other companies have the same thing.
And then
On
that
Monday.
one for the
And that one
street
item.
closure.
I will have some. I'll see what you have.
So, no, so I didn't have to pick it up or not?
Yes, I'll have something tomorrow, because I'm not gonna help you. I'll send you that. I'll have
All right. I'm gonna head back.
What do you do?
Yes, ma'am.
My daughter's running to San
Over by the med center, over on I-10 and the drive area. It's all highway though, so it's not too, especially now because there's no traffic over there. Okay, see, that's a worse drive, because that's 281 going all the way up there.
It takes me about an hour to drive.
It's hard. There's always traffic, even if it's on the night, I'm sure there's traffic out that way. You're not driving tonight, are you?
No.
Okay.
But I've driven from Louisiana all the way to and then my daughter, I went to Louisiana one time, and I left from Houston, Louisiana.
Yeah, you go. Were you at the casinos?
So anyway, like at 2 o'clock in the morning, we had gotten there about 1 p.m. And I said, okay, so we just stop.
Oh, I'm already walking off.
Oh, we didn't drive all the way to we drove to So we got there by the time we made about 40 minutes.